Okay, welcome everybody to the Referral Challenge Q&A Mastermind call for Friday, October 27th. The only big update I have is we're doing some catch up. It seems like we're always doing catch up, but now we're catching up we're gaining in the catch up. We're actually making really significant progress because Camellia is now working with us and doing a lot of strategic planning and help with that. And so because we got big plans for the referral challenge. Aaron and I have discussed it many times. Rick knows about it. You guys know about it. We're going to take this thing to a big level, but we got to get a bunch of things in place in order to do that. And so that's what we're doing right now. Camille's helping with that. And then we're going to start doing some pretty significant marketing going forward, grow this thing at a rapid rate and have even a bigger impact. So Camille's on board to help us, but also to help you guys. You'll see her in the Facebook group quite a bit more, and so that's a really good opportunity for you all to take advantage of her expertise and her coaching within the Facebook group, specific to the referral challenge, of course. If you want additional coaching, you can, if she has any availability, then you can talk to her about that. But she will absolutely help you specific to the referral challenge in the Facebook group. So that's the only big news I have. Oh, other than the fact that went down in Houston last week with Calvin and some other folks who were down there for Master Your Business Workshop, which was really a lot of fun. It was always great to connect and see the folks from, friends, all of you guys, the folks that showed up. And so that was fun. It was interesting too. One really big takeaway for me that we're going to work on seeing how we can implement into the referral challenge in some way. Calvin knows about it. Is that this woman named Kim Nugent did this thing called the bank assessment, and she showed us that it's a personality test type thing. But it's unlike Myers-Briggs or some of the others that you may have seen. This one is a very simple, rapid way to assess somebody's overriding characteristics, their personality traits. You can do it quickly, and it has direct impact into how you sell, how you market, how you manage and retain clients. And it's simple. And that's the beauty of it. It was simple, but very profound, I thought. I mean, I was pretty much blown away by what this woman presented on. And so we're going to be looking at, and also here's another little thing. Tom Jacobs, who put on the event, when he owned, he just recently sold his fitness facility, but when he owned it, he actually implemented this stuff that Kim, the woman who presented on, is called the BANK system, BANK. He implemented some of her stuff into his facility to help him manage and retain clients. And he said it had a dramatic, almost instant effect, and a very dramatic effect in terms of the way his trainers related to his clients and were able to give them more of what they wanted. So we're going to, moving forward, we're going to talk a lot more about that and see how we can implement it just to help you guys. It's very, very interesting. Calvin, did you enjoy that too?
I did. I thought it was very, very good because, like I said, I've done the disc one. I've done some different personality stuff. But one of the biggest things that, like she said, what differentiates this one according to the other ones is that you get these words, these tools, these ways to present and communicate to these people right then and there. It's like, okay, yeah, the person is a lion or a giraffe or a hippo. Now what? Whereas this, now we know if the person is nurturing, there are certain buzzwords that you want to communicate with them, even to the point where it might be in your sales copy. If it's this type of person, these are the words that they're going to resonate with. Or if you have a trainer or an admin person who is a particular personality type, you know how to communicate those buzzwords, the keywords that's going to get them fired up and actually be able to communicate and get better, better functionality out of them. So I think that was pretty intense and pretty good.
Yeah, and I agree, and that's a great description of it. She actually gives you the tools, the words to use that will resonate with people instantly, and so it's powerful. We'll share more about it going forward. I want to try and get Tom on a webinar just to talk a little bit more about it as well. So, yeah, a lot of fun. All right, Aaron, any updates on your end?
Nope, not on my end.
Okay, all right, great. All right, well then let's just go ahead and dig right in. Calvin, since we already started talking, let's go start with you. Just give us an update on how things are going and any issues we can help you with.
Well, obviously I brought the zookeeper on and Camellia, so she's helping with a lot of things of that sort to help get things in order. But I think one of the biggest things that I received even from last week was, we're talking about self-care. Kind of discuss a little bit. I've been dealing with some chronic pain and some issues and whatnot. And so the speed of the leader is the speed of the team. And so with the gym, with network marketing, with my family, with all these different things, these things I've got that's moving, they're all been kind of stagnant. And if I look back, they've been stagnant because I've been stagnant and kind of not really taking care of myself. I haven't been to work out like I normally do, doing certain things. So for me, it was kind of a kind of an epiphany that I'm not taking care of myself enough. And then I get on, if you guys follow Darren Hardy, and he has his Darren Daily, and he talked about being more selfish. In order for us to care for our people, we've got to be on point. We've got to be on our A game in so many different ways. And I know I haven't been. So I think that's something that really resonated with me as far as really taking care of myself and getting myself back to where I need to be. So I can become the kind of the superhero that I've been in the past in so many different ways. So it's just me just getting organized, getting things set up, and I think some more of that pouring into me so that I can pour more into folks. Other than that, that's just the kind of the main focus for me right now. Still getting SOPs. It was chatting with Mike earlier, waiting on Mike to get his deal out there, his system and program and stuff going too. So that's it. Everything for me is just getting systemized, getting clarity, getting things moving in the right direction. I think we're making the right moves in that. We're finishing off Little Black Dress. We do our last measurements and weigh-in and stuff on tomorrow morning. I think we finished off with about 18 folks that did it. And as of right now, we'll find out tomorrow if they actually convert. They have until Monday to take my front-end offer, basically, a pretty good discount for a six-month membership that they'll be able to take advantage of. Right now, more than half have already said they're in. We'll confirm that in a second here too. So getting that going, working on my marketing calendar for the upcoming year, and that's kind of where I'm at.
Awesome. Awesome. That's the point you made about self-care. Clearly that resonated with a lot of folks down in Houston. That was a really good point that this guy Simon brought up, and then Dave Whitley kind of talked a little. Well, he talked more about mindset, but it's somewhat about the self-care element as well. But that, it's funny because we used to use that, and we still do, really as a hook to sell mothers in particular into personal training, into fitness. We'd use that the whole thing from the airline safety announcement. Hey, oxygen mask goes on your face first, then the kids. And that applies to us as business owners as well. If we're not taking care of ourselves, the business is going to suffocate too. So, yeah, I hear you. All right, very good. Okay, well then that's great news. Mike, I want to go to you next, and first just say I got your messages, and I'll get on that stuff. Thank you for sending me the link. So give us an update on how things are going with you and anything we can help.
Yeah, so I mean, things are going. I think I'm unmuted, right?
Yep. You're good.
All right. So, I mean, things are going good. I mean, the products are just about done. It's just kind of tying it up. Aaron's just about done. And then I just have Angela's going to tie everything together to make sure that everything works. So I've actually, after speaking with Aaron, I've actually even updated a couple more things in there. So from the last time you saw it, it looks even different now. I think even better than it was before. So, which I'm psyched about. And as far as that goes, so that's hopefully coming out soon. This is new to me, so I mean I'm excited to get the product out there because it's done so well for me. So I think it'll help a lot of people. And then as far as everything else goes, I got the lease squared away. I was talking with Calvin earlier about it. So I don't know if you guys remember what I was talking about in terms of because I'm subleasing and all that. So I got that squared away. I actually got the lease down. So it's actually going to save me over $300 a month, which over the course of the lease is going to equate to almost 2 full years free based on what I'm paying right now, which is pretty good. And then I was also still able to work a deal with the baseball guy next door to still use the locker rooms, which is 1,000 square feet, which is actually not even going to cost us any rent. We're just going to handle the cleaning of the facilities. But one more thing that I'm working on with that is the actual owner of the building. When he gave me all the paperwork after we had gone back and forth, and he said, okay, I'll come down, I can do that. He told me that day that the company that's behind us, 40,000 square feet, is moving out December 31st. So that is now my next push for the square footage. So we actually have a meeting scheduled, a phone call scheduled for later this week. He comes back Wednesday for us to set up. Comes back next Wednesday. So later next week to discuss that. So I'm going to see. I went back there. The guys back there let me in the other day so I could check it out right behind our wall. So essentially we could just blow out our back wall, and we could double this square footage if we want to. We can do whatever we want. So I'm going to see, because I know that in mentioning with him, in that 40,000 square feet, there's only one bathroom. So one of the things he wants to avoid is separating into a bunch of different facilities, or different businesses, because he has to put bathrooms in, which is big bucks. So I'm thinking that maybe, taking on doubling my square footage. So right now we have about 4,000, just over 4,000 square feet. If we double the training space, it's possible, but I'm going to see if I can get them down even more. Because as it is right now, even with the square footage, with the price that I got lowered, I can technically add another 1,200 square feet to training space by only increasing my rent by $200 from what it is right now, which would be awesome. But then I want to try and get him to see if he'll pay for it too, pay for the wall. So I'm hoping he seemed awesome, nice guy, and I think honestly he's not going to miss another 3,000 square feet, 4,000 square feet. He won't miss that out of that space. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The walls are already up. It's essentially just knocking down our back wall and moving it back. That's pretty much all that's got to be done. The side walls are already there, so we could technically move back almost another 90 feet and have all that. So.
Would you have if you were to get that expansion, would you have what you need to handle those team opportunities?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. That's the key right now. I spoke with another organization the other day, 17 teams, 15 kids per team. He loves what we do here. I speak for him on a regular basis. He's like, when can we meet to get it going? So I essentially could probably more than double our revenue, and fingers crossed, like pretty quickly, I think, with some team stuff, because we turn away a lot because we don't have the space. And then it also allows me to offer more adult stuff at night for our metabolic resistance training that we have only in the morning for adults. It gives me the availability to do that as well.
Yeah. Wow.
So we're working on that. So
this is an exciting period of time for you. You got the product coming out. You got this potential doubling of the revenue.
I got a baby on the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that moves right.
I got to get it going quick, because come March, man, my wife's tracking that whip.
Yeah. Wow. Well,
is that your first or second child?
My second.
Yep.
And I hear it goes from 1 to having 2 is like having 20. So I don't know.
Yeah.
About that.
And once you have 2, 3, 4, 5, it's all the same work.
Don't tell that to my wife.
Well, you're a good Catholic boy, aren't you, Mike?
Yeah, I'm Catholic, yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be 6 or 7 anyway, right?
Yeah. I got to do all the chores around the house, the grass mowing and the wood splitting and all that stuff.
You're going to be another Fred Zoller, dude. That guy's got
I don't want that many.
got a quiver full, that guy.
Woo, he's got a football team.
Right, yeah. That's just it. You got to be able to field your own team. Yeah. Well, that's good. Congratulations, Mike. That's outstanding on a lot of fronts.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm hoping that they're moving December 31st. I'm hoping that in the next couple of weeks I'll have that squared away, and I can get everything, because we're going to completely revamp everything we have inside of our facility, all the turf, everything, to really redo the whole thing. So I'm excited. I'm hoping that very beginning of the year we can really be rolling on this, and I'm hoping that we have that down and expanded by February 1st would be my goal right now, to have up and going teams in here, twice the training space, everything. So
yeah, outstanding. And when did you say the baby's due?
March.
Yeah.
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 I have coaches. I have coaches right now. I can definitely give them more hours. I got another guy who just started an internship with us as well. So he'll be finished with all the in-home stuff before that. Obviously, so he'll be pretty much finished with his internship. And I think this guy's going to be a good fit, because he actually trained with us for a while too before he went off to school and everything. So think he's going to be a good fit and a guy we can pick up for sure.
Sweet. So for you, it's really just managing all this opportunity and making sure that you dot all the I's and cross all the T's.
Yeah, that's the thing, and making sure that I do things the right way, you know, making sure that when we do these teams, we're running it the right way, scheduling it the right way, so that we don't, I mean, I'm jumping in. I have an idea of already what I want to do. I've already been laying it out, but I want to be able to, you know, tweak it as needed, you know what I mean? Especially at first, and just take action right away.
Right. But as you said, you know, come March, I mean, you know, things are going to change, as you know, with the new baby in the house and everything. It's going to be dramatic, and so that's kind of presents a neat, hard deadline for you to get stuff really cranking prior to that. Yeah. So there's, you know, and also it presents a great marketing opportunity. You know, I mean, you should definitely want to leverage your kids for marketing opportunities, and that's the story. That's a great story.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, I'm excited about the whole expansion piece because of the fact that, you know, honestly, I can at least go 1.5 times the size of my facility right now and increase my rent by a couple $100 a month. It's nothing.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, that's a huge opportunity. That's fantastic. Well, good. You know, just lean on the group as you know. Anything we can help you with as we move forward, particularly. I mean, we'll definitely get behind the launch of the product and any questions you've got about the facility stuff, because I know it's very nuanced, and there's probably some folks in the group that have some experience and maybe can help you with some things.
Yeah.
Make a post.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I definitely will post any questions or anything like that I have for sure. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Calvin, I didn't get a chance to read all this. You want to just go ahead and shout out what this question is?
Yeah, it's basically as far as my facility now, I've been renting for the last eight years. I've got a pretty sweet deal on it as far as what I'm paying for it. But when you look at the opportunity to say, okay, I'm going to purchase one, I don't need a bigger space. We don't have showers, but we've managed pretty well. Now, the reasons that if I was to expand, obviously maybe a little bit bigger, but really don't need more space. But when you look at trying to purchase, or you know, is there a right time to really start looking at doing that, like numbers wise, or just of course if you busting out the seams, or when does it make sense investment wise? And Aaron started kind of answering already.
Yeah. Anybody want to jump in on that? You're talking about actually buying the real estate as opposed to renting it.
Yes. Not this place, but like another. There's a few options out there. I've been approached by a few people, and you know, ideally, what I'd like to do is get enough land, because I'm in a kind of rural area, get a little bit outside the city, and I could put a gym in the front and build me a house in the back. I think I done kind of convinced my wife to get one of those barndominiums where you get a whole bunch of house, for a lot less. But
who used to do that is Aaron and Tony Lindauer. They right? Yeah, their house used to be above their facility.
Nice.
And they owned the building. And in fact, they still do own that building, but they moved into another facility, and now they rent out what used to be their facility. They rent that out to another local business, and they still live above it. So You should definitely talk to them. And I agree with Aaron here. Anytime, there's real estate. I'll tell you, I've had mixed results with real estate investing. And so I would just say to you that there's a lot of variables that go into it. Generally speaking, I'm a big fan of buying when you can, as long as you've done your due diligence, because you really need to do your due diligence. It's not a decision you take lightly, because you're putting a lot of money on the line, Right. That's my 2 cents. Anybody else got anything?
That's kind of where I was going to go with it. And really, what's your end game? I think you need to know where you want to end up with your business. And then you're like everything else we do, you reverse engineer from there, Calvin. I mean, you need to think about that. And then, it's a numbers game. Just like everything, the numbers don't lie. Make sure the numbers make sense for you. You're talking about, you don't have showers. Well, does it make sense to purchase and then add showers? What is it? What's going to be involved? Figure out the cost, But it really boils down to, one, where you plan on being ultimately with it, and reverse engineering and making sure the numbers work from there. And in the best case scenario, I agree with Aaron. It's always better to own than lease. But I think you got to first start with where you ultimately plan to be. What's your future? Are you planning on staying there forever? What is it what is it you're looking to do? You need to think about that first. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Well, for the biggest part, I don't want to be another 12 years into the same lease and wondering where the heck did my money go, as far as, just throwing away to rent, where if I owned it, I would actually be paying it down and get it off where, if, the money would be coming back in. But
that's not where I'm going.
Okay.
In another 12 years, do you still plan on being where you're at training folks?
Well, not me training folks, but other folks would be training. I'd like to have a facility. Yes.
Okay. I think you need to be thinking that much further down the line, what you plan the business being to you, and then seeing if it makes sense for that to be a part of that big picture. Like in my case, I'm willing to share it. I know in a year and a half, my daughter graduates from school. I plan on phasing myself out of the physical business. So it would make no sense for me to own the property. You see where I'm going with that? Now, that's what I'm saying. You need to know what's your ideal life. So that's how you build your ideal business. And this gets back to a little bit of what our friend Pat Rigsby talks about. You got to know what you want your ideal life to be before you can figure out what your ideal business is. And then if it fits, then I agree with what Aaron said. It always makes more sense to own than to lease.
That's good. That's good.
I would definitely talk to an attorney, talk to an accountant, and because there's some things going on right now with Trump's going to change the tax code apparently, and one of the things that they're looking at is deductions. And I don't know how that's going to impact small business. I don't know that anybody does until it actually goes through, can predict. But some of these guys, I don't know what your timeline is here. But anyway, the point is you just can't get too much information is what I would say.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let me just end this portion of the conversation with the conversation that Forrest Walden had with his stepfather, Ricky Brooks, who owns the Express Oil Change franchise. And Forrest was reading Kiyosaki and getting into properties and all that stuff. And so Forrest has all been on that end. And he went to Ricky and he said, look, he says, why don't you just get into real estate? And the guy goes, dude, look, I own real estate at every place that we ever opened up an express oil change. The guy has dozens and dozens of property, right? So here's the deal. All these guys are right. You've got to know what you want. You got to know if it makes sense. You got to know that the math is going to work. You got to know that it's in a growing economy and not a declining economy. But all things equal, dude, you almost can't blow it if you own a property. If your business goes out of it, you've got an asset to sell. If you want to grow, you've got leverage in a facility that you own that you can leverage financially to grow. You can blow it. But, dude, you've got to be asleep at your post to do it.
Yeah, I agree with what McDonald's is. They're a real estate company more than a hamburger company.
Yeah, I saw Founders. That was pretty sick.
Yeah, but I will add this to what Aaron said. I agree with everything he said, except for the fact that you can blow it. You can blow it by overpaying. You can blow it by not doing your due diligence, knowing what you're getting and knowing what's going to happen around that area, what the future. You need info. And take it from me. I've done it. I bought in 2007 when the market was at the absolute tippy top of that curve, the tippiest top. I bought a house. I bought an investment property right there. Rode it all the way down. Eric and I have talked about, Eric Peacock's in real estate investment too. We've talked about this stuff. You've got to buy right. So that's a very important thing to take.
But let me ask, Eric, that was a residential property, yes?
Yeah, no, it's an anomaly. I'm not. I agree with you, Aaron. That maybe not 9 times out of 10, but 7 times out of 10, you're going to come out ahead as long as you make a real good decision. But you just have to make a good decision. That's the important thing. You have to make a good decision. A lot of money.
To that point, I would be very shaky to buy any residential property. It would scare me. Commercial property, I'd be a lot more confident in.
All right. And then, yeah, so great question. And I think it'd be good to hear, I would post that to the group too, Calvin, and see, get some more feedback and see what other folks say. Maybe they have some leads. And one person, and you definitely need to talk to Aaron and Tony about it. Linda, okay. Yeah, definitely talk to them. Eric,
gotcha.
You want to add anything on that? You've got real estate experience out the wazoo too. I know it's residential, but
Yeah, I think it just, my dad was in commercial real estate for many years, and you just have to really know what you're getting into. We almost made a move. This was a lease, but yeah, I know, you usually have to come in with more money, and it's a little tighter. Financing's a little harder to get, but I guess it just depends. Like what Rick said, do you want to be tied down? Because, right now I'm trying to unload I was like you, Eric. I bought the worst time, and now we're finally getting to a point where we can sell them, and I'm, in my life, it's that ideal life. My ideal life is not to own the stuff anymore because I'm kind of done with being a landlord, but I don't want to walk away with nothing in my pocket. So I think it's just like what Rick said. That's a great point. I actually wrote that down. You want your ideal life, or if you can do it, some people do great with it. But if you see yourself being there long term, I think it's worth it, just do your homework. But I know if I could go back to 2005, 2006, knowing what I know now, I probably wouldn't have pulled the trigger on the real estate, because I got myself into doing residential properties, and that didn't line up with what I'm really good at, which is fitness. And, it's cost me a lot of money and a lot of time having to go over there and deal with, renter issues, and then going through a recession with real estate that I had to pay like 3 mortgages instead of 1. And because my renters all went, so there's some risks involved. So, I think like the commercial building, I think, when you're directly in charge of it, the problem I think with residential is you're dealing with people that not necessarily don't have the best money management skills, and so now we're good because you have renters, but stuff still breaks and stuff, and it still takes me away from what I really want to be doing, which is fitness and wellness. So I guess it's just I read a book years ago about be careful how much you own. It can start to own you. And I know I've missed out on going on some vacations and things like that just because we're behind on a couple rental properties now. So, knowing that you're going to be the primary tenant, that could be a good thing. But I had another trainer of mine that had a gym up in North Dakota, and she had half of it was her gym and half of it was another tenant. Well, the other tenant defaulted. Well, now they're paying the whole nut on the building. So that's just always the risk you got to take if you're planning to have tenants. You just don't know, because their problems start to become your problems, and then you got to be prepared to deal with that. Some people I know here in the area have tons of investment properties, and they love it. They do great with it, and they just kind of roll off of it. For me personally, my ideal life is to own less stuff. So that's, I think, the good advice is decide what your ideal life is, because I know I miss traveling. I miss having the freedom I had when I didn't own as much stuff, and hindsight's 20/20. So now this year I'm hoping to free myself up away from that stuff and just kind of focus on less. But it's a little different when it's, if you're the only tenant and you own the building and you're the tenant, then I can see the point of, I wouldn't want to be in there 12 years and not have anything to show for it. It's kind of like leasing a vehicle. You got to turn it in, and then there's nothing there, and you got to go get a new vehicle. So yeah, I think just kind of deciding what's important to you is what I would look at.
Yeah. I know what I don't want. I don't want to have another facility. One thing I know, this is the hub. Anything else I do is leverage, in other forms and facets. That's one thing I can say that I know I don't want to try to look at. So as far as I don't want to train on the floor any more than this. I don't want to have to go to another facility because some dude's a jerk who I hired, and I don't want any of that. So for me, I know that's one thing I can say is a definite.
Yeah, good.
So it kind of gets back again. I think he reiterated what I was saying. You need to sit down and figure out what your end goal is, and then reverse engineer from there.
Yeah.
That's it right there. That's the starting point and the end point right there. Everything else in between is details, but those are the big, that's the big question. I coined a phrase years ago with some of our MPE folks. One of the things that I always saw myself and really enjoyed was being what I call liquid and mobile. I wanted to have a lot of cash in the bank and not be tied down to stuff, not be restricted. And then I had all this money, and I was looking for things to invest it in because I wanted to leverage my money. And got educated about real estate and made some investments, and a couple of them turned out okay, and one of them not so okay. So ultimately I did fine, but timing, it was the time that I got in was shitty. That I don't see that right now. I don't see a real bad time ahead, but I don't know. The point is that I deviated from my core value. My core value was I wanted to be liquid and mobile, and then I bought all this shit, and I felt encumbered and totally the opposite of liquid and mobile, and it stressed me out, and I didn't like it. So again, what Rick said is exactly right. start with the end in mind, you know, that type of thing.
Well, like I said, I know what my end game is to be, and it kind of touches a lot on what Eric just said. You know, my end goal is to, when my daughter graduates, I know I want to have the freedom to go travel, visit Eric, visit Aaron, visit all you guys. I want to be able to do it, and I don't want to be tied down. So my end game was building a business based around that and giving me the freedom to do that. And that's kind of the point I was getting at, Calvin, more than anything, is what do you want to be doing in 10, 12 years? Do you want to still be tied down to a business? If not, you need to be thinking that way and working backwards.
Yeah, that's good, because I plan on picking up about 5 concubines, and I don't know. I need to have flexibility in my schedule to make it happen. But that's my tip.
This is recorded, Calvin. We'll make sure your wife gets a copy.
Unfortunately, she hears these jokes too. So, yeah.
That's funny. That's funny. All right, Eric, let me go back to you and give us an update on how things are going with you and any questions that we can help you with.
Well, no, I think we've got the on the Get Fit Lakeville, our town here, so we're just starting to pound content in there. I mean, social media has always been something that's just kind of our evergreen. Now we're just running that parallel to our regular social media content. So, so we're starting to do that. I know Camille and I talked about rotating the charity workout around and doing it every other week, to make it more valuable. So we just started working on that. I'm actually working on my marketing calendar, and I said every day we're going to be having something that's dedicated to go on to our SmartStart group. And so we're getting that to just start making that just part of our regular evergreen thing. We did pull out, it was kind of an old NP campaign. It was a referral, VIP referral challenge, but we do it as the price is right. So we have 3 names that get their name put in an entry hat. So we mailed out letters, and we started an e-blast out to our clients and then posting on our client group. So every 3 names they get, we have a showcase showdown. So the winner gets to pick between a night out at a steakhouse, a massage and pedicure, manicure package, or a training credit. They can get in a month of training based on their current plan. So we have like that as our showcase showdowns. We do a little theme prices right. So we're running that as we kind of drive some more referrals. And so we pulled that one out of the archives because we have a lot of new clients since we've run that. So those are kind of our 2 big things we're really focused on. I know you and I talked about Facebook ads have been kind of slowing down. So trying to do a video ad. So what I'm going to do is get 4 of my top clients who come in off of our Facebook ad for 12-week transformation, and I'm going to put a video ad together next week and try to run that. We've been having trouble. I actually was on the phone with the Facebook marketing person, actually talked to somebody at Facebook, and we and they said, yeah, the single image ads, and you backed that up, saying Ben said that too, the single image ads aren't just pulling anymore, so we're doing more, trying to get more carousel or more interactive ads going. So that'll be kind of one of our evergreen things. We always try to run at least 1 Facebook ad a month. I'm getting back into next month. I'm going to be doing the Man Up webinar, so I'll get that on the slate. So trying to do one of the things, kind of like what Rick was saying, my ideal thing is kind of like you said, liquid mobile. I want to be less tied down to having to sell as much training, having to have as much marketing going, and getting more stuff where I can do internet and stuff. So I started working with I got the Amy Porterfield, if you're familiar. There's a lot of webinar changes, module online, so I'm going to be doing. I did a women's one back in, I think, late August. I want to start doing more webinars and selling online products. I want to get back into doing that. Coming up, we'll do a big Black Friday sale and everything like that we did last year, and that was real successful. So I know our marketing shifts to more, people have that sales mentality. It's kind of more, those type of things in November, December. But
Eric, let me interrupt you. Eric, hold on a second. You're breaking up a little bit on us, and it seems to be getting worse. I caught a decent amount of what you said. I'm going to mute you. Hold on. I got to mute you. You were just breaking up on us a little bit there, brother, and I couldn't process it all. Let me come back to you in just a couple minutes, but and we can finish it up. But for right now, I'm going to jump because I think there's some issue with your internet. Rick, let me jump over to you. Give us an update on how you're doing and any questions or anything we can help you with. Oh, and before you start, I want to say I do believe tomorrow is a big day for you. Is that not right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so happy birthday to Rick Streb. Tomorrow's his birthday.
Thing is, it's getting bad when the candles cost more than the cake. I'm afraid to light all the candles. I might need the fire department there to put it out.
I saw that in your email too. That was pretty funny.
Did you like that one?
Happy birthday, man.
Yeah, happy birthday.
What's going on? Need to get with you relatively quick. Eric, we've really got the funnel dialed in for the recurring revenue for what we want to talk about with the Facebook groups. So that's really moving forward. I've got a little bit more travel to do, and then after that, I can sit down and create the video for the SmartStart. I'm going to tweak it a little bit, to how we're doing things here at our facility to make that work. But then I'll be ready to get that dialed in. But I think actually I'll be in Orlando next week.
Oh.
So I don't know if you might be available even for an hour. I bet you and I could knock out what we want to do together in probably that quick.
Yeah, let's plan on that. What date? When are you going to be here?
I'm coming in Wednesday morning. I think I get there around 10:30, 11 o'clock. The mastermind I'm in is until Thursday, Friday, and then Friday out late. My flight leaves like at 9:45 Friday night. But okay. I'll have Wednesday that I'm pretty open. If we want to do it one evening after Pat's mastermind, whatever works for you, buddy. I bet an hour you and I can knock out what we want to do.
Yeah, let's try and do it early Wednesday if you can, but let's all coordinate with you separately, but that sounds great. We'll do it for sure.
Okay. So that's going on. Aaron and Mike, I will also try to work on those videos you guys asked me for. If there's anything in particular you want me to touch on, please message me so I make sure I get exactly what you want so we knock it out of the park, okay, for both of you.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Rick.
And then I'm hoping the week after next, get back, Jason and I are hoping to launch the Ultimate Supplement Sales System, which kind of excited about that because some of the people that actually participated in it, now that we've had several months in, we've got one guy that's done $80,000 in sales in 7 months.
Wow.
Commissions, not sales, commissions, and another one that's done almost $44,000. So we know if people just plug and play what we put together, they're going to do well.
Yeah.
Rick, that's a life changer, dude. That would change somebody's life right there.
Yeah, and that's just with supplement sales. And what we've done is really cool now that is even going to take that to the next level is by next week, and I'll be able to show you this, Eric, we will have the JLab Pros embedded into the meal plans for pro diets. So now it becomes a live affiliate link for every fitness pro that is also an affiliate for JLab Pro. And it's just going to make it so much easier for them to make supplement sales and commissions, and especially when we combine it with the way we're talking about doing the recurring revenue with the groups, with the SmartStart group, the Get Fit Your County group, because now also you have another avenue to promote the supplements that you're selling. So
right.
It's basically the way it's coming about is everything, instead of going wide like we talked about earlier, everything is going to go really deep and everything really will play off each other. So we're kind of excited about it. I've been taking a lot of time this year, obviously, with building relationships and dealing with the developers on this, but 2018 is going to be really, really exciting.
That's outstanding. That's outstanding. All right. Well, very good. Well, I look forward to getting together when you're in town, and we'll hammer this thing out, and that way we can present it to the group.
Wednesday will work for me. I mean, as soon as I get in town, I'll get my rental car and I can do whatever. So we'll make it work.
Okay. All right. That's perfect. That's perfect. Very good. Awesome. Okay, good. Eric, was there anything that you wanted to continue with? Sorry for the interruption, but again, it was because of the internet stuff, but I've unmuted you now. Was there anything else that we didn't get to?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if is it any better now?
Yeah, it sounds better.
Yeah, I know we got shaky wireless sometimes here. It's all the snow, right? No, I think the biggest thing with us, we're just trying to drive referral. We're really trying to drive the SmartStart. Just like I said, we're putting a lot of effort into that. Now we've got it up and going, and then the using that, trying to really increase that group, and then a referral drive with the old MPE campaign. Kind of we tweaked it, the price is right, and that's probably our biggest two things we're working on. And then we're just working on continuing just trying to refine we're putting together a client resource page and doing some virtual like grocery tours and things like that, just to really do a good job of retention. That's always on top of my mind. We have a client advisory committee I'm meeting with on Monday night. We do that every quarter, and just getting feedback from our clients, like what they want. And it's actually good because we got rid of some of the stuff we were doing that they said, we really don't need you to do that. So, we're not allocating stuff we're really hearing back from our clients. We got a mixed bag of them, and it helps us to do a good job of like, okay, what programs do we need to put effort into? What can we scrap? And so instead of us just making all the calls, they're giving us that feedback every quarter. And so that we have Monday night, and then just getting ready for like our holidays stuff. We have a couple holiday campaigns we run. We run a Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and then we run a 12 days of fitness and stuff like that. I'm just finishing out my November, December, like just tweaking them just to kind of get everything so we can just finish out the end of the year well. So
awesome. So you've got your calendar booked for the remaining months of the year. That's beautiful. And yeah. I just made a note. Aaron, you and I need to talk to, but I think we should probably do something, post something about using the Cyber Monday campaign again, and then also the 12 Days of Christmas. I think is a great idea, Eric. And I'll just put it out there in the group and encourage people to do something like that. So do you mind if I tag you in that, and if people have questions, they can ask you about that?
Yeah. I can even probably somehow get a, kind of put, like you guys have done, is put the emails into some type of format. And if people want to see what we do, just then everybody's going to have their own thing, but just helps give people an idea. And we mix nutrition and nutrition coaching. We mix it all up, but it's every day there's a new deal, and it's always like, 12 of this, but it was good because it kept some of the cash flow going, because, people kind of shut down. They're not ready to, in those periods you want to put, they're in sales mode. So your list is in sales mode. They're willing to buy, but it helps keep some cash flow going through those months sometimes when you're not going to get as many consults and stuff like that. So we felt that was really good. And then, I think that's, then I was just saying the webinar thing, trying to do more of the online products is something I'm really interested in, trying to like free myself up, and, the coaching and the Man Up program and some of these things we're doing. So that, and the women's one I have too. So kind of get better at doing those webinars and just getting all the technology and everything and all the stuff ready so we can roll those every month. So
when you do webinars, do you use Zoom or do you use GoToWebinar?
GoToWebinar, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So we did it last time, and I know one of them dropped on me, but you just kind of roll with the punch. It's like public speaking, but the biggest challenge we're finding is we just got to make sure. The hardest thing we deal with is trying to get enough people registered to lead. So the marketing is the hardest part about that, getting people on the webinar. I know the content's good, the product's good. It's just getting people on the webinar.
Yeah. Are you primarily or exclusively marketing to your house list?
House list and through Facebook too, Okay. So, everything we do so much through Facebook now, it's just crazy, So one of our clients kind of got on us about it, and she said, I'm not on Facebook. And I'm like, yeah, but a lot of people are, and you're not everybody. So she's like, because she wanted to be part of our group, and she goes, I just got off Facebook. I don't like this promotion because I can't be on it. I said, well, that's okay. You're in here working out. I said, not everybody's in here working out, but Facebook's kind of where it is right now for a lot of our marketing. So.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Yeah, go ahead.
I mentioned something since he was talking about the holiday promotions and everything. I've got a really cool funnel that I start using in December to get people prepared for my New Year's Transformation Challenge. It's called New Year's Waiting List, where I really just start getting people on a waiting list for the New Year's Challenge. So they're saying, hey, I want in. And then actually when it goes to the thank you page, it gives them the opportunity, if they want to get started early, they can come into my facility at 50% off my normal rate for December. It might be something that people may be interested. It's a click, share funnel. If people are interested, I'm happy to share it with everybody.
Yeah.
But it's worked really well for me in the past. You know, I've got some other things I do for New Year's that I start doing also that I can talk about later. But right now, let's keep it limited to this one. I just think because everybody starts talking about how things slow down during the holidays. Well, instead of asking them to join, ask them to get on a waiting list for your New Year's transformation challenge. Now you've got leads that you can contact directly when you're ready to start promoting it. And you can make some of them an offer to come in for 50% off during December. What's it going to hurt?
Beautiful. I love it. That sounds awesome. Yeah.
Let's see it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Details, dude.
Whatever you're comfortable sharing, Rick, that's awesome because that sounds like
if you want, I can share my screen right now and show it to you.
Let's do it.
That would be great. I don't think anybody would complain about that, Rick.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me get it up.
I do not want to see anything that's going to make you more money. So that's
You turn yours off.
I agree with Calvin on this.
So this is the page. Basically, it's just join the early bird list. And you can see I set this up really generic so I could share it with people. I actually set it up for my group. So I have no problem sharing it with you guys as well. It's just add me to the early bird list. You know, I talk about how the thing fills up and everything. And, you know, if you want on, go ahead and, you know, to save your spot now, you put a couple before and afters in there. Pretty simple. And then from there, come on. It comes to the thank you page. Which, hey, you've been added to the list. Oh, before you go, if you want to start training, I'll give you 50% off the month of December.
Yeah. Nice.
I mean, it's pretty simple, but it works effectively.
Yeah.
And then after that, if they go ahead and do that, then there's the next thank you page, which that's not it, which is real simple. Boom.
Excellent. Yeah.
I mean, so it's nothing fancy, but it works effectively. So if people are interested, I'm happy to share it with this group because I created it for my coaching program. And, you know, as far as I'm concerned, these are similar people.
Well, I will say thank you very much. I'm sure folks would love to have access to that, Rick. Thank you very much. That's very generous of you. And it's great that you showed it because it shows, you know, you don't need this whole things don't have to be super duper fancy to work. As you said, you just need to act on it. You need to run it. You know, it needs to be in action.
Yeah. You can run some Facebook ads or just, you know, organic Facebook talking about it, and you'll be fine with this. Right.
Very good. I love the idea of putting folks on a waiting list too, building up anticipation and excitement for the New Year's challenge. That's a good idea.
And you'd be surprised, even if you got 5 or 10 people to take that 50% off, it's extra money.
Right.
It's money you're going to have.
And that's like a self-funding promotion or self-liquidating offer almost. I mean, you're paying for your advertising by getting those folks in. Yeah.
Yeah, and you will get a handful that will do it.
Awesome. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
That's very gracious, Rick, really.
So I will share that in the group as soon as this call's over.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Rick. Okay, good. All right, then let's move on. Lyonel, I'm going to move to you. Good to see you, man. Let us know how things are going and any questions, issues we can help you with.
Wow. Man, I'm kind of in the whirlwind right now. There's so much happening, you know, a lot of it absolutely fantastic. I tell you, since like being part of this mastermind and also with Rick's group has been really, really instrumental in taking things to another level. This whole year for me has been kind of setting the stage for, you know, going to the next level. I'm so excited because, you know, meeting with Alicia in the beginning of the year and just starting with actually putting systems into place and learning how to do that, that took my business to a whole new level, you know, so I went from just having a handful of people to, you know, actually managing a pretty decent group. Then from there, you know, Rick and I, you know, got together, and then immediately after that, you know, you guys, you know, it was kind of like a cohesive thing. And I'm really glad I did that because even though I haven't been in the last few weeks, you know, participating in the calls, I've been trying to listen as much as I can, you know, afterwards. There's a reason why this has been happening. I've been too damn busy. There's literally been like an influx of new people coming in, you know, in the last couple of months. I'm like, wow, this is a good problem to have. So just hired my first coach. I never thought I'd be capable of doing that at all this year. And I'm super excited that I actually needed to hire someone because, one, the volume of people that were coming in was so much that I honestly could not handle it all by myself. So I thought that was a fantastic problem to have. And, you know, it's just funny, right? When you're ready for some things, how things just fall into place. I knew I needed to hire a coach, and I'm racking my brain as to who I'm going to find and where I'm going to go look for him. And I didn't even have to. He came and found me. I thought that was pretty cool. He said, hey, I saw your thing on you know, Instagram. You were just, you know, one of your videos, and I just wanted to reach out. I'm a trainer. I work with such and such, and, you know, I'd love to be able to come in and take one of your classes. I'm like, well, I don't work that way, but you can come in and talk to me if you'd like. He goes, okay, set up an appointment, came in, and the rest is history, you know? Like his vibe, like his attitude, the members love him. Everybody who's met him just thinks it's just fantastic. I had him come around for a month. Just come around as many times as you like, you know, just kind of feel him out and everything else. And again, great vibe, great attitude, great everyone. So I made it official beginning of this week. And it's been fantastic. He really is. He's actually very knowledgeable and very, very similar to the way that I would do things. So I'm like, wow, unbelievable how things just fall into place. You guys have just been really a godsend in more ways than you realize, you know. So I've been implementing as much as I can with what I've been able to put into place so far, and it's made a huge difference for me. One of the reasons why I was having this problem is by actually implementing the Facebook check-ins, and I'm working with the charity. Just that little thing alone that I've done has completely turned my business around. You know, because once I found the person that I was happy with, had them come in, the members got to meet the people from the charity. They got to see the kids that were actually going to be affected by this. And then everything went crazy. I don't even have to tell them to check in anymore. This just done automatically. And I've watched the numbers grow every month. And I'm having now people have actually reached out to me because of that, saying that, hey, they're interested in coming down to the facility to see what we do. Because I see all these people checking in about this charity stuff. What the heck is that all about? So thank you guys. That has been absolutely fantastic. You know, so I cannot wait to be able to finish the SmartStart and implement all of that and do all the other things that are tying all into this, because I just think it's really going to take this to a whole nother level, you know. And I know sometimes being in my position, when you're smaller and you're starting to grow and you see all the guys, you know, I mean, some of you guys have huge facilities and you guys have 300-400 members, 200 members and whatever. And when you talk to somebody that's got, you know, just a handful to start with, you want to do anything you can, right, to get to those numbers big. But I got to tell you guys, I'm so thankful because the option was go get into a whole lot of debt trying to sign up for all these programs to hope that it gets you there, or do something that is so natural and so simple and so basic that once you implement it, will continue growing your business over and over and over and over, you know, as long as you keep providing what you're supposed to. I love this. I love this. So thank you. You guys, like I said, I know I haven't been here much, but it's been for a reason, and it's been a damn good reason. So thank you for that. You know?
If we're going to capture that as a testimony right there, that whole segment, I mean.
Yeah, I just made a note. I mean, we really appreciate you sharing that. I'm so happy for you, man. That's outstanding that things are going so well. And as you said, it's a damn good problem to have.
Yeah, it is. It really is. I'm really happy about this problem, you know? Yeah. So as I'm seeing other things going on around me, I'm no longer like fazed by it. I'm just like, okay, well, whatever. It's all right. You know, we'll be fine. We'll just keep moving, just keep our head down and keep moving forward. And it's so cool. I love what you guys have done because you've taken something that I've always believed in and actually made it true. You know, I've always believed that if you give value, if you really truly give everything you have, and you're doing something that's fantastic for people, people will come. Like the whole movie, right? If you build it, they will come. I really believe that. But it's been so hard to see because I've been doing that for a while and there was nothing to help it come. Just by adding what you guys have put into place into what I'm doing, that's actually creating that now. I'm building it. They're seeing it, and because they're seeing it, they're coming.
And you just hit the nail on the head there. See, the distinction is that you're building it, and it's awesome, but now they're seeing it. People are seeing it. You know, and that's the distinction. That's marketing right there. You've inserted the marketing piece, and that's beautiful, man.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And it is so simple. It's like, you know, the crazy part is I haven't gone and spent a whole bunch of money on marketing ads and all these other things like I was doing in the past. I mean, I think I've spent, well, maybe a quarter of what I've spent the last, you know, 6 months to a year, and not even that. I spent maybe a tenth, in the last few months in terms of advertising and marketing that I've had in the past, and the results are literally tenfold, even hundredfold what they were prior to. So, yeah. That's about having something good,
That's awesome. That's awesome. And now you have leverage too, because you got this trainer now that's working for you. So that's going to free you up a little bit more to work on the business. So you're really nicely positioned for a real strong 2018.
I cannot wait. I mean, listen, what's great is I am not excited for 2017 to end because it's been great so far. So I'm like, cool. How much better can it get between now and then? That's really what I'm all about. As I'm listening to everybody talking about the holidays are coming up, I'm like, oh, really? Yeah, I guess they are, huh? I'm actually not fazed at all by it. I'm not concerned about attendance dropping or anything like that because there seems to be no sign of it stopping or slowing down because things are still growing. People are still reaching out saying, hey, I saw your stuff. I'm interested in coming down and talking to you. As long as that keeps happening, I'm not changing anything. I don't want to slow down for the holidays. Why?
Yeah.
You know what's really cool about this, and I'm sure Eric and Aaron feels the same way, I'm confident, is I remember when you and I first talked, Lyonel.
Me too.
And this is exactly what we said is get ready for the fun ride that 2018 is going to be.
Yep.
And you've been quietly behind the scenes doing everything that the referral challenge and MPS are teaching you, and it's happening. You're taking action, and I guarantee you those two guys have to feel like me. We couldn't be happier to see somebody actually taking action and making things happen.
Thank you. I mean, listen, you guys, here's what I know, okay? You guys are where I want to be. You have a business that looks like what I'd like mine to look like. You guys are telling me do something, I'm just going to do it and not question because you're obviously doing something that I'm not doing, which is why you're where you're at and I'm where I'm at. So why do I need to question it and whatever? Just you tell me do this and I'll just follow. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, what else do you tell me to do? And I'll follow that. I don't know. I'm just a kind of guy,
Can we clone him and get about 100 more of them in our programs?
Yeah.
I'm telling you. I mean, that is such a genuinely great attitude, dude. I mean, I love that.
Thank you.
It really is. It's funny. Years ago, we had Tony Maslin when he was in NPE, was one of the most successful guys in NPE that we had, one of our most successful VIP members. And at one meeting we had VIPs, and some guy was struggling with some things, and Tony stood up and he goes, listen, here's the secret. Just follow the darn, and I think he said damn, just follow the damn instructions. And now Brad Linder's actually taken that and used it for his sort of a slogan for his fitness business because it's so true. When you have really good advice coming from people you can trust who are doing smart things, and you follow the instructions, it's not going to work 100% of the time, but it'll work more often than it will not work. And so you're exactly right, Lyonel, and I'm glad to hear it. That's a perfect attitude. It will move you forward a long way in life.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, I'm seeing the results of that from everything. So I'm excited. And now, my little staff, tiny little staff is getting excited as well. My daughter, when I first started trying to implement all of this, right, she's my admin, she's been like, this is crazy. This is like a lot of stuff. What are we going to do exactly? How would we do this? I'm like, I don't know, but let's just figure it out. Figure out how to implement all this stuff and put it in, right? So she would do it, not really knowing and seeing anything. And every time she would put something together, I'd run with it. Still not quite understanding. I remember when I started the whole Facebook thing, I didn't even have a charity yet. But we already started the Facebook check-in for charity, And I realized after we started that wait, we're supposed to have a charity to attach to this. So I had to go find that. And, so I'm reaching out, right, trying to find like the local charities through the websites and whatever. And I literally couldn't find anything because it was just like jumping through hoops, And I was running a challenge at the same time. And this young lady came in for the challenge. And she happened to be the one that actually runs the charity that, I ended up going with. And as she's sitting there sharing her story, talking to me about what she does, I started asking more and more questions. And then when I found out about what she does for the kids and the things that happened to her, I'm like, that's it. You're never going to have a problem with stuff again because I'm going to jump in and help you. Like, okay, well, everybody says they're going to help, but what are you planning on doing? And I said, look, I got this program that I'm starting and I'm doing this thing for charity and you're going to be the charity that I'm going to do it for.
That's beautiful.
And she didn't believe me until I introduced her to everyone as this is the charity that I'm going to do everything for. And it just took off from there.
Awesome.
So
good stuff, man. Good stuff.
You
Well,
tell me what to do, I'll follow, and the results will still be coming. So.
yeah. Well, I think we're glad to have you in the group, brother. That's
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, glad that you're, things are moving forward. It's so nice when you have momentum in business. It's a powerful thing, and it's almost like you want to bottle it and just be able to drink from it every day, because there's always those ups and downs. But when you got the momentum, you got to make sure you're driving hard to sustain it and maintain it, because then you do hit a critical mass type point. It doesn't always, there's still problems, but things do get a little bit easier as you get to that critical mass. And I think you might be on your way there. It sounds like it. So
good. Fantastic news to me, man. Thank you.
All right, good deal. Well, Adrian, I got to pop out real quick, but I want to talk about that post that you made. Another one, you got another epic post going there, which generated a ton of interest and response from folks, and also want to hear how things are going and update and everything. But Aaron, can you take over and just handle this? I'll be right back. You guys go ahead. I'll be right back.
Well, unmute yourself there, Adrian. All right, buddy. Well, you have had a whole lot of things happening in a very short amount of time over the last month or two with your little situation. Why don't you share real quick with everybody, and then let's answer some questions.
I guess, I'm not sure exactly how to share it. There's a lot of context that could be missing. I think
Want me to share what I know?
Yeah, go for it, because I talked to you a lot about it. You can probably put it in better words than I can, because I'm in it. You're out of it. So, yeah.
Adrian had a guy that basically is not respecting his business, for lack of a better way of putting it. The guy took another job, which is great. Adrian was happy for him, but he decided to post in Adrian's Facebook group for his business about the other facility and the other job. And obviously it caused a little bit of dissension and everything. And Adrian, in my opinion, did the right thing, taking the post out of the group and deleting it, because the group is for his people, not for a competing business. And the trainer didn't like it. For what it's worth, the trainer didn't have nice things to say in their conversation. Basically, the trainer was just caring about his agenda and not the business, and not Adrian's agenda. Adrian's issue, which we all know is one of the things Adrian is working on, is I think he worries a little too much about what everybody else is going to think. And so my advice to Adrian was very simple, was one, that post needs to come down. Two, you need to talk with the trainer, decide what you want to do with him. And that's, ultimately Adrian's decision. In my opinion, the trainer had to go because he lost complete respect for the business. And, and I said, and if you really want to address it, he was going to put a post in the group. I said, nope, you go and you speak to each group of your clients in person, and you let them know what's going on. And you address it before they can even question it, to be proactive about it. And he basically went to his people before each class. And I know it was scary for you, Adrian, because I know you, buddy. And he told them, look, here's what was going on. Here's the reason I took it down, is because this group is for our business, and strictly for our business. It's not has anything to do with a competing business. And at the end of the day, this was a decision I made for what was best for this business. And then his concern was, well, what if somebody says, well, it shouldn't all be about business? I said, actually, yes, it should. Because at the end of the day, you have to do what's right for your business, because your business is what supports you and your family. And I thought it was important that he let people understand that. Now, other people might have other ideas, and I'm excited to hear that, but that's kind of the approach he took. And I don't think you had any backlash from that, did you?
No. It was just the only some backlash that I got was people were like, because a lot of people weren't aware of it, so they were more confused than anything. But that was the only backlash that I got. But that you can't really count that as backlash, as people were like kind of scratching their heads about like, what's he talking about?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Well, they're going to find out one way or another. I thought it was best that they hear from you.
Yeah, it's true, and it's good that he's got this other position, but I'm trying to like sort of like, Greg, I know you're really well aware of the situation, and so for the rest of you, basically like at large, like the coach that I brought on was very excited, very energetic, very passionate in the beginning, and then like somewhere along the way, his attitude started changing and becoming more negative. I think he lets people's negative comments or questions and concerns really get to him. He tries to wear that himself and doesn't know how to like talk about it or handle it. And so that I think was getting to him a lot, to the point where he started thinking that clients trusted him more than they trust me because they're talking to him about these things and not me about these things. And so that I think was the beginning of like his erosion of trust for me. And then when, I'm not sure how many of you are aware of it, but when the last two coaches left, he actually wanted to go at that point too, but decided to stay on. And so him and I tried to work it out. But ever since then, he never trusted me as much as he used to. And so basically it's gotten to a point where he just kind of like, he puts up with me in his own words, so he can like train the clients. So for me to, I don't know, it's just obnoxious. And I think the part that sucks for me the most is that he's a really good coach. Like he's really great with people. It's just crappy that he has such a really like a bad attitude and doesn't know how to process that and handle it. And he really doesn't. Like that phone call after he made that post on the Facebook group about his new position, and after I deleted it, like I tried to call him like 4 times and he Facebook messaged me saying, "I'm not in the mood. You got to text me." I was like, "No, we're talking." And it was bad. It was like 75% of it was him just yelling, swearing. I want to mention it. I want to mention it so you can see his character. But Rick told me to screenshot the comments that a lot of people were making on my post. So I can tell them like, hey, it's not just me. Like I'm consulting other people before I made that decision. I want you to know that. And in his own words, all of your quote unquote, all of your business coaches or whatever who don't even know me can go eat a dick, is what he said. At that point,
I was like, ass kicked, man.
And my advice to him at that point was, you need to end the conversation and just fire him tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
I was actually on with Aaron when this was Adrian when this was going on. So
yeah.
I'm surprised it went on that long.
I tried to end it. Trust me. Adrian's trying to be too nice to the guy.
I really am.
Yeah. You weren't the only one, Sir Rick of Streb.
From the first part when he tells you, I don't trust you. That's it. Okay, bye, go.
And
I don't need you.
That's what I think I have to learn. Like Aaron and I have talked about it a lot. But I think the more painful experiences I go through, the faster I can get this stuff. And I think I'm learning 2 things. 1, fire fast. And 2, stand up for myself and not be such a people pleaser. Which is my biggest downfall, I think, is always trying to make people happy.
Like I told you the other night.
That's just where to go drive yourself crazy, man. Trying to make people happy.
I'm learning that.
When you try to make everybody happy, that's a road to mediocrity.
Absolutely.
You're not going to be able to please everybody. So concentrate on pleasing the ones that are in line with what you believe.
And I think being able to see that, like, especially in this next coming time, as I basically rebuild, as I learn how to reset expectations from the beginning, I think being able to see that something like this can happen and I can still rebuild and still make it through will help show me. Like, I've been hearing a lot from you guys, but it'll show me that, hey, like, you don't have to make everybody happy. And if some people leave, okay, they didn't really get it in the first place. Like, that's a big lesson for me because I'm really, really, really scarcity minded when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like, as much as I hate conflict, I hate loss. And so to me, it's like when I lose a coach or when I lose a client, I feel like that's one less person that could be out there that I could get to help.
Something about that. it's interesting that you say that, right? Because you're looking at it as you losing someone, or you losing a client, or you losing a person.
Yeah.
It's actually not a loss. It's just that, your journey together has come to an end, right? You understand, every person that you meet, you're not supposed to be with them forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the things that I think as trainers, when we're going into this, that a lot of times we have the mentality that, I'm going to get this client and they're going to be with me for the rest of my life. I am very clear on the fact that every person that walks in through this door is going to be with me for a short period of time. That short period can be a few months, or it can be a few years, or it could be a few decades, but it's still a short period of time. So I'm always okay with the fact that they're going to come in and they're going to leave, because they need to make room for the next ones to be able to come in.
Yeah.
So I never look at it as a loss. It's always, okay, our journey's coming to an end. Sometimes the journey's going to end on a nice, positive, fun, and happy note. And other times, just need to kick them the heck out of there and make sure that the journey ends faster. It could be toxic for you otherwise if it's not,
Yeah.
And
That's a lot more elegant way than I said it the other night. I will definitely say that.
That's some Zen stuff right there. That's good, man.
Yeah, it is.
So, that's all. That's really all you should look at it, because, don't ever think that they're going to be with you forever. Just know that it's going to end at some point and be okay with that.
Yeah.
The quicker you get to be okay with that, the easier your life becomes,
And the other way to look at it, Adrian, is every trainer that comes in and out of your system, when they leave, it's 100% their fault. 100%. They'll either leave on their own volition, or you'll kick them out at your volition because they're screwing up, but it's 100% their fault.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. And it's a 100% win for you. If they're good and they stay, you're winning. If they're suck and you kick them out, you're winning.
Yeah.
So he's gone, right?
Yeah.
He's gone as of tomorrow because he and the other coach have a really good workout plan. So I want that to be a send-off. But after that, basically I'm just going to sit him down and say, hey, I really want to wish you the best on your new opportunity, your new endeavor. And as far as this place is concerned, today was your last day. That's it.
Oh, okay. I'll take that. It would have been done faster. Again, when you posted that stuff, I thought it was done that day,
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's
good. At least you're getting there. You're getting there.
Yeah.
So,
and remember, Adrian, I don't know if you were on, I think you probably were, though, when Billy was on last time talking about his update from firing that, his best friend. And he was saying, it's been great. I mean, he's had run into a few little issues, but essentially he's thankful that he made that decision. And this was his best friend.
Yeah, and I talked to another owner, actually, another Fit Body owner recently. He had to fire his best friend of 20 years because he noticed that he was the facility manager in one of his locations, and he was kind of bringing the whole culture down. So he had to fire him and get rid of him. And that was hard.
You know something, though? That actually she's not. Because, I literally went through that because this thing started growing with what's happened because of what you guys have done for me.
Yeah.
Right? Brought in my best friend. We've been friends for almost 30 years. This guy literally moved them from Texas to Florida to come and help me with running the business.
Yeah.
2 weeks living in my house, in my apartment, for a month and everything. I was just trying to get him going and trying to get him excited. And, a month in, I'm realizing, this is not going to work because he's not actually he's not doing what I need him to do. He's there's resistance and everything. So we had that conversation. Look, dude, I love you. You're my best friend. I have everything for you, right? But you can't come here anymore.
Yeah, that's good.
Like, what? Look, I don't need you in here because you're killing my vibe. You're killing everything that I'm trying to do here. I brought you here because I expected these things from you because we've done things together in the past and you've always supported me. But since you've gotten here, all I've gotten is resistance from you, and I don't understand where it's coming from. I'm bending over backwards trying to help, and all I'm getting is you fighting me, man. What's the deal?
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm not this, I'm not that. I'm just, listen, it's okay. It's all good. You know what? I value our friendship way more than I value this thing. So don't come back.
Yeah.
He lived at my house for 2 weeks, right? Until he found his own place and everything else. But, just don't come back here. And that was fine. And you know what? We're still friends. We're still best friends. We still talk on a regular basis. Nothing's really changed as far as that goes because he realized that me doing that really freed him up to go find what he wanted. Because he had resistance that he didn't even realize about what was going on because he felt that since he was coming down to help me with my business, that he literally should be like half owner of my business.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
We're friends. I don't love you that much. I'm sorry.
Work that way.
Yeah.
Once we separated, it was good. It's like we're back to normal. So
here's what I love about your story, Lionel, is that you think you have a friend until you have a fight.
yeah,
Right? After the fight, you know if you have a friend.
exactly. Exactly. That is so true. Because, it could have very well ended up being like, okay, well, it's done and over, and we never talk to each other again.
Yeah.
But he knows where I'm coming from. He knows that everything that I do comes from a place of love. I've never, ever done anything to harm him in any way. And he's never really done anything to harm me before. So this was the first time that we've actually had friction over anything,
Yeah.
But, and let me tell you, when we were having our discussions, they weren't discussions like we're doing right now. It was full on, like, I'm serious. There were actually people that thought we were going to fight, like it was going to go into blows, because that's what it looked like. It felt like every time. Because we were both like up here yelling, screaming, and just like, in each other's faces. And words were being said in ways that, well, weren't pleasant. But again, I never took anything to personal, and I don't think he did either. Once we calmed down, we kind of came back, regrouped, and tried again. We did that for a month. After a month, I'm like, this is not working, dude. You can't come back. Once I said that, we were okay.
Yeah.
So.
Lyonel, you're a persuasive and very clear communicator. You do a good job.
Thank you.
I like everything that you said. I like that. Yeah. So Adrian, I think you hit it nail on the head. The whole scarcity thing. I think that all comes from a place of fear, and there's really only fear and love. Those are really only the two emotions. And I think you're coming from a place of fear with a lot of your decision making, and I think you're coming to the realization that that's the case, and you're just going to work through it and grow out of it.
Yeah.
But it's great that you have so much support in this group, and I think my experience has been that business owners in general are sort of the salt of the earth, because we experience all the ups and downs, and it's so hard to be an entrepreneur. So I think some of the best people I've ever known in my life have been business owners, and when you get, I don't know, there was maybe 18, 20 different people that commented on that post that you said, and I think 17 out of them, 99% roughly, or whatever the number is, all were universal in what they said. You should be done. So I think that right there is an indication that you can fall back on that. That's sort of a truth that you've done the right thing. You're getting really solid advice from good people who really care about you. And now it's just a matter of you continuing to follow through with that. And I think what Keone wrote, Keone and I go way back to the guy from Hawaii, longtime customer, great guy, hasn't been real active in the referral challenge, hoping to see him become more active. But the bit about being the alpha, to some people they don't like that term, whatever, alpha, but I think it's so appropriate. And I think that's what we all have to embrace in ourselves, whether you're a woman or a man. When you're a business owner, you have to embrace the alpha and be that leader. And I think that's where you're at, is coming to terms with that and embracing that in yourself. And one last thing, you now have the love of a wonderful woman that is beside you. And I'll tell you, there's very few things in life that will give you a stronger spine than knowing you've got a great woman standing beside you.
Yeah, she, so the other day when I was making those speeches to everybody, she came with me because I told her, like, this makes me really nervous and I'm going to need to be with me. She came with me the whole time through. Was there.
Awesome. I had the pleasure of meeting Catherine down in Houston for those of you, and she is a wonderful, sweet, beautiful young lady. You are a lucky man, and power to you. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
All right. Anything else, anybody, or we're gonna wrap up?
I guess for me, I just have one more question because I'm not sure it's going to happen or not, but I want to be on the safe side. So, given the trainer's reaction just over the phone, how it was very explosive, right? I guess, like, what do I do if that happens tomorrow? Like,
wait.
You like fired up and like really upset again,
Who was explosive?
The Frankie, the trainer.
Yeah, you weren't explosive.
No.
Okay. So look, if he becomes volatile, you just say, look, dude, here's the way it is. Look, you can leave in peace or you can leave by police.
Aaron, you were on it, brother.
I gotta write down
Yeah.
That's
all right. I like the one about the friend in a fight and now leave in peace or leave with the police. Write her down or something.
He does have a third option.
Do it at your facility, though. Hopefully, you can do it when there's not many clients there.
Well, my goal is to do it after the sessions are over.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they all. Yeah, I don't want to do this in front of anybody.
Correct.
But, you know, I think from my perspective, what's most important about what Aaron said is not necessarily that you're actually going to call the police and the police show up, but that you have the balls to say to this guy, get the fuck out, or this is what's going to happen. You know, manning up like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he does have a third option. You know that, right?
What's that?
You can leave in pieces.
I like that option. That's the go-to one right there for me.
Whenever I have to fire somebody, I'm going to bring you over, Lyonel. I'm just gonna, there you go. Here's our one-man HR department. You can talk to him.
Yeah, I'd rather explain it to them. You know, you have 3 choices.
I love that.
In my case, I just tell them either leave or we're going to go bench together. Then I leave the bar sitting on their throat.
You're ready to leave now? You ready to leave now?
Yeah. All right, guys. Good stuff today. Thank you all very much. Really appreciate you being here on the call, your contributions to the referral challenge, and let's just keep rocking and rolling. Have a great weekend, everybody, and we'll see you on Facebook.
Thanks, Ed.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Eric. Thanks, Aaron.
All right. Thank you.
All right, guys.